Tonight, poverty reduction advocates worry climbing electricity costs may force some people to cut back on other essentials.
Rate mitigation will keep the cost of electricity down, but that's not the whole story.
We haven't seen income support rates go up. We haven't seen a meaningful increase in the minimum wage. We haven't seen the things that we would need to see for people living in poverty to keep up.
I'll have more coming up on Here and Now.
It's opening day at Pippy Park Golf Course, and despite the weather, people are flocking to the golf course. At 7 o'clock, we had our first group off. They were troopers being here quite early up. I'm Jeremy Eaton, and I'll tell you all about that later on.
Twillingate is known as Iceberg Alley, but what happens when there are no icebergs? I'm Peter Cowan. I'll tell you coming up on Here and Now.
This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. Newfoundland Power is telling customers that a rate increase is likely coming this summer. Yesterday, the province and NL Hydro reached a deal that both sides say will keep electricity rates from doubling, but the power company says that's only part of the story. Here and Now's Mark Quinn explains.
The cost of the Muskrat Falls hydroelectric project has almost doubled to $13.5 billion. Newfoundland Power agrees the rate mitigation deal will keep the cost of electricity from doubling too, but late yesterday it said residents should know about another significant rate increase that's likely coming soon. In a news release, the company's CEO said, "We have a responsibility to inform customers and want to provide a fulsome view of the estimated impact of costs on electricity rates on July 1st, 2024. The deal finalized yesterday capped Hydro's rate increase at 2.25% annually until 2030. But Newfoundland Power, which buys power from NL Hydro and sells it to its customers, has applied for an 8% increase this year. That means the cost of electricity could jump by more than 10% on July 1st. This is what the Energy Minister said about the impact of rate mitigation using a $300 bill as an example.
July 1st, without this, you would go from $300 to $500. But because of what we've done, you'll pay an extra $7.
However, if the Public Utility Board gives Newfoundland Power what it wants, that same bill jumps by more than $30 per month, an increase of more than $350 a year. That's concerning for this poverty reduction advocate.
Truth is that $350 a year on top of all of the other increases that we've seen for people living in poverty can make a huge difference. Again, some of these people, and we've got a very high number of people living in poverty in Newfoundland and Labrador, are making very tough decisions between buying food, which the price of which has gone up, and paying rent, the price of which has also gone up. And so then energy and power rates on top of that continuing to rise just makes that poverty line go higher and higher and higher.
And of course, the rate increases won't end this year. NL Hydro will get its 2% increase again next year, and Newfoundland Power is also applying for another 5.5% increase in 2025. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, the trial of a St. John's man accused of sexually abusing young people has been delayed after a change of lawyers. Tony Humby was arrested last year and has been in custody ever since. He was supposed to go on trial this summer on more than 30 charges, but he has a new lawyer who needs time to get up to speed on the case. So they've asked for a delay. That request was granted today. No new trial dates have been set, and Humby is now due back in court next month. The former town clerk of Conception Harbour will be spending the next year at home. Bonnie Lynn Wade was sentenced to a year of house arrest this morning for stealing money from the town. She used the town's credit card for personal expenses and stole cash from residents who came in to pay their taxes, totaling about $6,500. Wade says she will repay the money. Well, now to the Northern Peninsula, where Coast Guard is investigating why a fishing boat ran aground yesterday in St. Lunaire, Griquet. It says the FV Indian Lady grounded on the rocks near Griquet Harbour, but that the vessel is not leaking fuel. The owner of the Indian Lady is now removing the roughly 1,000 litres of diesel from the vessel. According to the town's mayor, no one was injured. Well, a disappointing start to iceberg watching season in this province. As we've talked about this week, the bergs are scarce this year. Twillingate is at the center of Iceberg Alley, and every year thousands of tourists show up to take in the majesty of the ancient ice. Here and Now's Peter Cowan spoke with a few of those tourists and the business owners who rely on them.
Barry Rogers is getting his tour boat ready for the first trip of the season, but he's missing his star attraction.
Right now, if we looked out to harbour, there's no icebergs here right now.
About half the people who head out for a tour with Iceberg Quest are looking for, well, icebergs. The first tour of the season had plenty of birds and rugged Newfoundland coast, but no icebergs. For visitors like Peter Lamarck from the Netherlands, it's a bit of a disappointment.
Well, I'm 60 this year, so I want to see an iceberg in my life. But okay, we planned this in December and now it's May. You never know when there's an iceberg or not.
It's not great for business either.
I mean, it's a little disappointing, but I mean, we've been doing this, Peter, for a long time. And, you know, there's no two seasons that are the same to us.
Last year was one of the best on record, with dozens of icebergs close to shore, bringing with them plenty of visitors to local businesses.
How are you? Excellent. Oh, nice.
Deborah Borden is opening up her pub for the season. She also runs a hotel, restaurant, and coffee shop. She says about 20% of her customers are here because of the icebergs, but just because they aren't here now doesn't mean they won't come.
That's the great thing about Mother Nature. Like, you don't know what she's going to give you, and you don't know when she's going to give it to you. So we're still very optimistic that we're going to see icebergs, and people are going to come and have an iceberg experience.
It's up to the town to sell its other strengths, like hiking and its people. Even without the icebergs, though, visitors are still enjoying their Twillingate experience.
No, it's beautiful here anyways. Regardless of whether or not I'm seeing the icebergs, I'm out on the water and I'm seeing the shoreline and I'm seeing Newfoundland, and it's stunning regardless.
There are a few icebergs way offshore that could still blow in closer, but as for the long term, all tour operators can do is hope that the icebergs and the tourists keep coming. Peter Cowan, CBC News, near Twillingate, Newfoundland.
Well, the weather hasn't really changed much, really anywhere in that northeast flow today, although it was a lot more dry than we have certainly been seeing. We've got a ridge of high pressure in place, but we've got a little area of low pressure, and that is bringing some cloud cover to parts of the west coast at the moment. And up across Labrador, we've got some colder air, especially towards the north, for sure. But if we take a look at what's going on right now, apparently black, but we've got 4 degrees out there, wind chill of about +1, northeasterlies are about 13 kilometers per hour, but we're not seeing nearly as much fog as we have been seeing, that's for sure. And we can see, you know, all that clearing for a good chunk of the island at the moment. Up across Labrador, seeing some clearing to the west and even through parts of central Labrador. But if I zoom in, the cloud cover is trying to clear. It's just taking its time, for sure. But if we take a quick look at the long-range outlook for the weekend, we can see some cooler temperatures for parts of the province, others reaching the teens. I'll break it all down for you coming up.
Well, in just a couple hours, this patio at the Cat Stop will be filled with people enjoying the start of Trails, Tales and Tunes Festival in Norris Point.
You can see the town wake up, you can see the park wake up, and it's that kickoff to the summer season for us.
It's the real start of the tourist season, and businesses here just boom. I'll tell you all about it. That's coming up.
Well, come rain, drizzle, or snow, for many, the 24th of May weekend is considered the unofficial start of summer. Parks throughout the province are preparing to open for the season. Here Now's Troy Turner swung by a park in central Newfoundland ahead of what's expected to be a busy weekend.
It may appear quiet here at the Square Pond Friends and Family RV Park. Just a few campers loading in, birds and bunnies on the hunt for a morning meal. But for park staff, this is crunch time.
It's been a quite busy few days. We've been prepping, getting ready. The guys have been out around doing some trees that have fallen, clean up. We've been prepping in the store, like for the food, little containers for the ice cream. We have a new ice cream dessert for the weekend. Clean up, getting machines put back together. Yeah, it's been pretty busy.
With 118 sites, the park is nearly sold out for the weekend, and there's plenty to do before campers arrive.
We have to rake all the leaves or blow the leaves, whatever. A lot of trees got hit with the wind this year, so we had to come and clean that up, and the limbs from that. Potholes, the boys, you'll probably see the boys going around today, filling in some potholes, stuff like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of work in the off season as well.
Some will come for the weekend, while others will stay all season long.
Don't matter to me if you're here or you're Grossmore, Terra Nova. Once you're in the park set up, don't matter where you to. You're still in your camper.
There's nowhere else Dave and Kathy Mercer would rather be. They've put a lot of effort into creating this home away from home.
That's what this park is all about. It's the family thing. The people who own it are really family oriented, and it's all based around family. Like every weekend, activities galore for kids and parents. Like, you know, usually on Thursday nights we'll have a game of darts. 2 or 3 times a year we'll have horseshoe tournaments. So, you know, it's a whole family event. It's not just for the adults.
That family focus is by design. And looking ahead to the summer, staff say Square Pond will once again be a popular destination.
We're booked up pretty well, like not fully booked, no, but there's still availability, like I said, for weekends or if you wanted a couple weeks. But so far it's looking good. Like we do occupancy report, and our occupancy report is on par. So far so good, yeah.
With all but one site booked up for the weekend, it's expected to be a really busy one for the owners here at Square Pond. Of course, with all those campers come lots of families. So the next task at hand is to get ready for the kids' games, which start tonight. Troy Turner, CBC News, Square Pond.
If you waited for nice weather in Newfoundland and Labrador, you'd never get anything done. And that's exactly what's happening here today at the Pippi Park Golf Course. It's a little bit chilly, a little bit drizzly, and a whole lot foggy, but that hasn't deterred golfers from coming out on opening day. Now, if this is something that you didn't know about, let me tell you.
Well, it is a little bit cold, and sometimes my hands are hurting a little bit, but I still just love to be out here.
Yeah, we got 150 on the Admiral's Green, so it's day 1 of Admiral's Green. Captain's Hill opened last Wednesday, and we actually had about 200 on the sheet almost every day when Captain's Hill opened, which is crazy. The weather didn't quite cooperate, so we didn't quite get to those numbers, but yeah, we'll have 200 tomorrow on the sheet, so we're pretty busy. Okay. Yeah. They're really excited. After 4 hours of being out there in maybe some of the cooler weather, they're not as thrilled, but having waited so long in the winter, it's something Canadians are always enduring, is the long winter wait. So excitement levels are quite high. People are just thrilled to get out there and get active again.
Really excited. Well, we got a day off today, and it's the first day opening. I got a membership, so might as well put it to good use.
Well, I think it's a great location in the heart of the city. The views are incredible, so our property's outstanding, and we're going to continue to make improvements to the golf course. Yes, some of it'll take time. We're going to add a driving range. That's an exciting improvement we're going to be bringing soon. We're going to hopefully start on that in the fall. You know, there's only 3 golf courses in town, really 18-hole championship courses, so we're in a great position to just work with the golfers we have and to ensure that they continue to support us, and we'll do our best to make sure they have a great experience.
Hands get a bit cold, hard to hit the club, you know.
Is it hard to see the
difficult.
ball?
Yeah, when it's you know, when you're going downhill with a lot of fog, you can't really see, so you're just hoping.
1 fewer golf course in the city of St. John's this summer. What does that mean here at Pippi Park? It means we should be a lot busier. We're committed, with my role being a newer role as the GM, and we got Josh Foster's our superintendent. We're just looking to enhance the facility over time, and I think we're going to be extremely busy because we're going to focus on service and improving the facilities that we have, you know, every day, just making it a better place, and I think we're going to see the demand grow and grow.
Well, it's Police Week in Newfoundland and Labrador. To mark the occasion, the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary opened its doors to some curious young students yesterday. These high schoolers from Holy Trinity in Torbay paid a visit to RNC headquarters in St. John's and got a behind-the-scenes look at the station, including a first-hand lesson in forensics. The RNC says it's a glimpse into the work police do on a day-to-day basis.
They've been into our forensic unit, community services, our patrol operations, our communications center. So they're getting a good idea as to how the day-to-day operations go, and it's also a good opportunity for outreach to our youth to give a good glimpse as to how our officers work throughout our community and promote public safety.
Well, a small community in the heart of Grossmoor National Park is about to double in size. The Trails, Tales, Tunes Festival kicks off tonight in Norris Point. Every year it attracts worldwide attention for its music, its hikes, not to mention the parties. Colleen Connors has more on what goes into the weekend.
As soon as you drive into town, you can see signs of what's to come. The 10-day Trails, Tales, Tunes Festival marks the beginning of the busy summer tourist season in Norris Point. For Sherilyn Rumbold, it's a chance to show off her hometown.
It brings out a pride in everybody. We're happy to be able to share our hometown, to get some people from worldwide to come and experience what we get to live in every single day.
The start of the festival has everyone busy preparing for the influx of guests. The Black Spruce restaurant inside Nettie's Harbour Inn opened the same time as the festival 18 years ago. The hotel fills up as patrons take in the live musical performances like David Francie, The Catch and The Once, along with oyster tastings and 4-course meals.
Because TTT means that, oh yeah, things are ramping up again. And I think that's kind of exciting for everybody, the owners, the business operators, but also the local people. And it's just a little exciting. Plus, it's amazing. Like, the talent is wonderful. I mean, you're just going to get, such good entertainment.
There are also hikes planned on the Grossmoor National Park trails, along with some community-shared story times.
You can't take it all in. There's not just one thing for everybody, there's multiple things for everybody, because it's such, again, there's storytelling aspects of it, there's great musicians, there's things for kids, we have Celebrate the Sea Day this coming Saturday. There's so much happening all over the community, and it's really, the businesses come together, the town is a big supporter, and school is a big supporter. Everybody comes together for Trails, Tales, and Tunes.
Well, the party gets going right behind me at the Cat Stop in just a couple of hours, followed by the official opening at the Town Hall for some live music. Now, there's something on the agenda for what the locals call the TTT every night of the week for the next 10 days or so. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Norris Point.
We have no electricity, we just have our generator and I got solar lights.
I like having no cell phone service.
Well, whether you're roughing it or glamping, what makes for the perfect staycation at the cabin? We'll head to Labrador to find out.
And there are certainly some parts of this province that are going to see an absolutely beautiful weekend. The good news, the fog is cleared for now. We'll talk about the forecast coming up.
This weather update is brought to you by the Healthcare Foundation Home Lottery. The absolute final deadline is midnight Friday, June 7th. Order tickets now at hcfhomeLottery.ca.
Ashley, lots of people heading out of town for the long weekend, but I'm wondering, out of all the places in the province, where is the spot to be weather-wise this weekend?
Hint. Apparently the best coast.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. The West Coast definitely seeing the best weather of the weekend, even through parts of Central seeing, or you're going to see some pretty spectacular weather this weekend. Not so much for the east. You know, we've all been stuck in this pattern along the northeast coast where we are seeing cooler temperatures, the fog and the drizzle sticking around as well. And today, no different. 5 degrees in Bonavista, 4 in Twillingate, and then 9 degrees in St. Anthony this afternoon. But beautiful through Badger, Deer Lake, the top spot today at 21 degrees, and even Marystown topped off at 19 this afternoon. So certainly some beautiful weather out there. And we're seeing it at about 14 degrees today in Lab City. Otherwise, towards the coast, temperatures are a tad cooler than that. Now, if we take a look at what's going on right now, we've got some cloud cover towards the coast of Labrador, some thinning clouds for the rest of the Big Land. And as far as the island is concerned, like I said, it was a lovely day sunshine-wise, but there is a bit of a low pressure system, just a little one, that is bringing some cloud cover to parts of the west coast. And we can see that there, even a few showers popping up on the radar there. But as we head through tonight, generally, it is going to be a quiet evening. Now, this cloud cover that's sitting here, eventually clearing, trying to clear anyway, across the northeast coast will likely move back in. And that's just because as the temperatures drop, that tends to happen. Cloud cover, still seeing some clouds, though, as we take a look at the webcams there. Paddy's Pond seeing some cloud cover, Salmon Ear Line cleared out beautifully at the moment, and there's some sun peeking out in Holyrood as well. Temperatures still quite chilly, 4 degrees in St. John's right now. Still an absolutely beautiful evening in Deer Lake at 21 degrees. And those temperatures towards the south coast, 12s across the board at the moment. So as far as what's going to happen as we head through tonight, so watch that cloud cover. Like I was saying, it will move back in and start to affect most of the northeast coast tonight. The chance of some drizzle will move back in as well. Patchy drizzle, but still the chance. And most of the west coast will be under the cloudy skies. So the area of low pressure is kind of going to stick around, especially as we head towards the morning. And some showers possible for Lab City tonight, especially as we head towards the early morning hours tomorrow, and then towards the coast as well. Temperatures for the northern portion of Labrador will sit into the minus single digits, otherwise 1 to 3 degrees. And then across the island, most seeing mid-single digits or a little bit below that, whereas Port aux Basques should hover around 7 degrees overnight tonight. As we head into tomorrow, I think it's going to turn into a pretty nice day. The first part, though, still cloudy, but it should clear out, and hopefully earlier in the day. Even parts of the west coast, you should see your day improve as the afternoon goes through. Now, that area of low pressure may stick around a little bit longer, which could bring some cloud cover and showers to those of you in the southwest, but overall, it'll still be a pretty nice day. Rain will move in for the western portion of Labrador, like I said, and head towards central Labrador as we head through the overnight period and into the first half of Sunday morning. And there's a chance we could see some snow for the north coast through the day on Sunday as well. Temperatures, well, depends on where you are, but if you're towards the coast in that northerly flow, your temperatures will be chilly tomorrow, 6 to 9 degrees. Away from that, you should see temperatures between 11 to 14. Winds about 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. So a little bit stronger than they have been, certainly, for the past couple of days. Again, Twillingate, 6 degrees drizzle for the first half of the day, but I do think you should see the sun peek out, or at least the skies brighten a little bit through the day. 11 to 12 degrees through central. Harbor Breton should hover around 8 tomorrow. West Coast, definitely the nicest temperatures. 18 to 20, 17 to 20 degrees through the day. Along the south coast, though, as we see a bit more cloud cover and that chance of showers, I do think your temperatures are going to take a little longer to get there. So about 10 to 11 degrees through tomorrow. Northern Peninsula, 7 to 9 through the afternoon. Same thing for southeastern portions of Labrador. And again, hovering around 0 for Nain. Tomorrow should be dry, but as you head through the night and really through the rest of the weekend, you are looking at that chance of some wet snow. And then some rain for Lab City. 14 degrees through the day. Temperatures overall across the Big Land will actually be in the teens right through the weekend. And again, parts of the island. I'll break that long-range forecast down for you coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, as we head into the long weekend, many are gearing up to hit the road, perhaps kick back at the cabin. So what makes for a perfect weekend getaway? The CBC's Zach Russell put that question to some people in Happy Valley Goose Bay.
To me, a cabin is going off and getting away from society.
Just a place to get away from everybody.
I'd like it to be where you can't drive to it in a vehicle.
Okay. I like having no cell phone service.
No, we don't want no TV. We don't have a TV.
We got a washroom, we got a bathtub. I got
and not even a radio.
A fridge, stove, everything.
So no big screen TV, no satellite dish, no Xboxes.
Your cottage might have that.
What is the difference between a cabin and, say, a cottage, if any?
Money.
Money. Okay, money. Is a cabin a kind of place where you can, say, order a pizza?
Our local one we can, yeah, because just down here through Terrican Basin.
Okay, yeah.
If you're on the Northwest River Road, you can.
Does that qualify though as cabin life? You know?
I'd say that's too close to town, yeah.
I got solar lights.
Is a cabin a place like with a satellite dish?
Yeah, could be, yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Could be. You can't go without cable these days.
We have 2 bedrooms, living room, bathroom.
What do you call it, glamping and all of this? Do you want the more glamour? We go down there, it's just nothing. It's just to get away from everything and enjoy nature as much as you can.
Well, no problem. Nothing in your life can be planned.
I really truly believe that when they leave, many of them just say, hey, I'll be back, and maybe the next time we'll get to see icebergs.
Well, no bergs in this bay. Hopeful tourists are striking out this spring. We return to Twillingate just ahead. Returning now to Twillingate, where the iceberg watching season has gotten off to a disappointing start. But while icebergs are scarce so far this year, tourism operators are optimistic the bergs will arrive soon.
Well, right now, if we looked out the harbour, there's no icebergs here right now. There's ice across the bay over here, certainly in Bay Vert area, the French shore over the Warsh Conch there, Kings Point, that area. And but you know, there's ice outside, and hopefully with the onshore winds, we're going to pick up some icebergs there in the near future.
From when I was 10 years old, I read A Night to Remember, Titanic, and then I was really interested, and I was about 12 years old. A kid from the neighborhood told me that there were icebergs in Newfoundland because his family was from Newfoundland. So I decided, it was almost 40 years ago, I was going to come and see icebergs. And this is the year, but it's not the year.
So yeah, what was your reaction when you got here and realized what the iceberg situation was?
I kind of was a little bit prepared for it. I thought, well, it's Mother Nature. Can't control it. Hopefully there'll be, but I think within the last week or so, I knew that the odds were against seeing them this year.
Well, I'm come 60 this year, so I don't want to see an iceberg in my life. But okay, we planned this in December, and now it's May. You never know when there's an iceberg or not.
So, what was your reaction when you found out that this was not the year for icebergs?
Well, no problem. Nothing in your life can be planned.
I think we were definitely a bit disappointed, but we've been having a great time up here anyway.
What is it about icebergs that made you want to travel all this way?
I think everybody knows what an iceberg is, but very few people get to see them. So the idea of getting to see such an impressive piece of nature was exciting.
What has been the highlight of your trip?
I think meeting all the great people up here who've been running the small B&Bs that we've been staying in has been really lovely. We've also eaten some great seafood.
People come here for all kinds of reasons. And one of the reasons they come here is to get away from where they're coming from and to find themselves and to spend quality time with family and friends or with each other or just on their own. And Twillingate is the perfect place for that. You come out here and there's lots of great things to experience. We have some of the best coastal hiking in all of Newfoundland and Labrador. But Newfoundland overall, you know, has so many spectacular things. I mean, with geoparks, we've got national parks, we have, you know, wildlife galore. You know, you have your coastal, rural experiences, you have entertainment, you have the great people, you know, you have our culture and our heritage. All of these things are on offer. So while we know that people may have some disappointment, I really truly believe that when they leave, many of them just say, hey, I'll be back, and maybe the next time we'll get to see icebergs. And that's the attitude they take away with them.
It's a little disappointing, but I mean, we've been doing this, Peter, for a long time. And, you know, there's no two seasons that are the same to us. And they vary. And one year, I mean, we may have, you know, a bumper load of icebergs here, which we did last year. And there's other folks and other communities that didn't have them. And now they have them, and we don't at this point. But that's just a cycle of the, you know, the iceberg alley that we work in and viewing icebergs. Simple as that. Well, the thing is, it's May month, May and early June. And I mean, and quite often by the end of June and early July, the icebergs would, you know, historically be moved offshore or moved on or melted down. And, you know, we're not looking for a volume of icebergs. We don't need 100. I just need 1 or 2 just parked outside here within our range. And I mean, it'd just be beautiful.
Yeah. How optimistic are you that it will be, like the season's just starting? How optimistic are you that you'll have a good season this year?
Well, I'm totally optimistic that we're going to have some iceberg viewings here in Twillingate, and it's about, again, I mean, we're in the mercy really of the elements, and they can change dramatically per day. But again, we need those currents and onshore winds, and that changed the old pattern.
Nothing's been done, and I'm sorry, I don't accept the minister's explanation that they've been working on it. We're in the 4th month, and there's still nothing done.
That MHA says a destructive crash in his district could have been avoided, why he's pushing the province to act. The MHA for Terra Nova says the state of the road in Southwest Arm is deplorable, and for years the province hasn't done anything to fix it. 3 months ago, a provincial plow went off the road in Gooseberry Cove, causing damage at a local cemetery. Lloyd Parrott says there's been no effort made to clean up the fuel or the damage left behind.
The damage that's done to the graveyard is fairly extensive. The issue that I have with it is that The department has known about the problems with this road for 5 years. We've been presenting petitions for 5 years. Now there's been an incident, February the 14th last year, Valentine's Day, and I believe it was in daylight, it wasn't at dark. A flyer went off the road, partially because of the road conditions, and when I say road conditions, not just the stormy weather, but the road itself is in disrepair. Beyond, it needs to be fixed. There was a fuel spill at the time, there was extensive damage done to the cemetery, and now it appears to me as if the family is left to do the work of government. Insurance companies are dealing with them. They're receiving letters from multiple people outside. The local church actually believes that if there were to be a necessity to have a funeral going forward, that they may not even be able to do that. So there's an oil sheen left there, extensive damage, and nothing has been done. And I'm sorry, I don't accept the minister's explanation that they've been working on it. We're in the 4th month, and there's still nothing done. So Gooseberry Cove is down at the end of Southwest Arm. The road is in terrible disrepair. You can go down through one S-bend, it's called, and the guardrails have been laid down there for 5 years. It's one of the very first speeches I gave in the House of Assembly. I've presented multiple petitions, but again, the road conditions are a part of what this problem is. The problem is the inaction with government for something that they've known about. Now we've got a tragedy that affects a family that's grieving the loss of a loved one, and they're left to pick up the pieces, and it's just totally unacceptable. So I would assume that regardless of insurance, whatever, if there's a body that has to be exhumed, that the coroner's office has to be involved. There's multiple government departments that have to be involved. And if government is now letting insurance companies do their jobs on behalf of them, dealing with a grieving family, they're failing, the same as they are with everything else.
So the minister said he hasn't heard from any families. Have you?
I haven't spoken directly to the family involved. I've spoken to multiple people down there, including the Church Association, and they've all put these thoughts forward. If I had spoken to the family, I probably would have said the name in the House of Assembly, but due to privacy and confidentiality, I didn't think that was appropriate. It's an issue. These people are grieving. They want this dealt with by one individual, and there should be someone in government who deals with this directly with the family. In 2019, when the 5-year roads plan, that's the year I was elected, 5 years ago today actually, when the 5-year roads plan was in place then, there was no work for Southwest Arm. We have lobbied, we've sent in drone footage, we've sent in multiple pictures, all footage that I've taken myself, no work gets done. And to put it in perspective, the head of the depot, and I'm not putting this on him, but multiple workers down there have complained internally. I've sat in this room and talked to multiple ministers of transportation works, warned them that something like this was going to happen, specifically in that area because of the hill, and nothing's been done.
Well, meanwhile, the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure says if the province is at fault, it will cover the costs. John Abbott says the province has referred the incident to an insurance company and is waiting for word from the family on next steps. Abbott also says an environmental consultant has been brought in for advice on the cleanup. Alberta RCMP says it's linked the murders of 4 young victims in Calgary in the 1970s to a serial killer. Police say Gary Allen Sereri died in an Idaho prison in 2011.
With assistance from Interpol and the Idaho State Police Forensic Services, Sereri's DNA was confirmed as a match to the unknown male DNA profile present on all 4 of our young victims. Due to forensic evidence, witness statements, and similar fact evidence, the Alberta RCMP believe that Gary Allen Sereri is responsible for the murders of Patsy McQueen, Eva Dvorak, Melissa Rohorak, and Barbara McLean.
The RCMP believe the killer may have had more victims. The man lived between Canada and the U.S., often changing his appearance and using aliases to hide his identity. The world's #1 ranked golfer was arrested early this morning in Kentucky. Scottie Scheffler was on his way to the PGA Championship when police stopped him near the course.
Guys,
what do we tell you?
I'm staying back.
Here's the thing. Right now, he's going to jail.
Okay.
He's going to jail, and it ain't nothing you can do about it.
Stunning images show Scheffler handcuffed and being led to a police car. Police allege he dragged an officer while illegally trying to get around the scene of a fatal accident. The 2-time Masters champion is charged with second-degree assault of a police officer and reckless driving. Scheffler was released later in the morning and he returned to play the PGA Championship. Well, for decades, people in this province have been eager to get a jump on the 24th of May long weekend, and it seems police and park rangers in the province have had the same concerns year after year. Back in 1986, officials were warning about the dangers of forest fires and drunk driving. We dipped into the CBC archives to bring you this story from then reporter Debbie Cooper.
It's early morning just outside one of the biggest and busiest provincial parks. People have been arriving at Butterpot since it opened on Wednesday. A lot of people will spend the whole weekend at their campsites. Some are lucky enough to set up early and beat the crowds. The main thing on everyone's mind, the weather.
They say it's supposed to be sunny now for a couple of days, so that's how I'm banking on myself. It's beautiful so far. I hope it keeps up all weekend, that's all.
Cooking up, it's sure to be a common sight by tomorrow morning. It's one of the pleasures of being outdoors.
That's Bryce's daughter, by the way. I never phoned it.
And like a lot of people, they've been looking forward to the weekend for a long time.
About 2 months ago we planned on this.
But while the campers find that perfect spot, a place to stretch out and relax, the park staff have a lot more on their minds. This weekend, the forest fire hazard is extremely high.
We're going to be watching the fire situation pretty closely during the weekend. And as you can see from driving around the park, we have quite a few no open fire signs up. And we're not going to allow any open fires at all this weekend.
So people can't use these pits here?
That's right, yeah. They won't be able to use them this weekend. Strictly common stoves, propane stoves, and barbecues.
But fire isn't their only concern.
Our security precautions would be increased patrols, that's mobile patrols in the trucks, and foot patrols. Also, regular checks will be made on the campsites and so on, and hopefully any problems that could occur will be stopped before they get a chance to get out of hand.
The holiday also means heavy traffic on the highways, and this weekend the RCMP will have hundreds of officers out on patrol.
One of our concerns is with the heavy increase in traffic and the holdups, slow-moving traffic, people become impatient and take chances and pass maybe when they wouldn't normally pass. This creates problems and leads to accidents.
But according to Burry, one of the biggest problems is alcohol.
Drinking and driving causes accidents. People are not as sharp as they normally are, and so we're really concerned. If you're going to drink, wait till you arrive at your destination.
This holiday weekend signals the beginning of summer for thousands of people. It means getting out here in the fresh air and hopefully the sunshine if it stays around. With some care and common sense, whether you're boating, fishing, or camping, it should be a great one. Debbie Cooper, CBC News on the Trans-Canada Highway.
Well, it's Friday, so let's find out who's celebrating. Happy 64th anniversary to Everett and Cavell Mercer of Bay Roberts. Wishing Edward and Rita Mallard of St. John's a happy 60th anniversary. Happy 64th anniversary to Rodney and Ida Ford from Port aux Basques. Anniversary greetings going out to Brenton and Phyllis Roberts of Triton. They've been married 58 years. It's a 54th anniversary for Rosina and Daniel Philpott of Plate Cove West. Happy 70th anniversary to Ray and Winnie Cooper of Queens Cove from all your family and friends. Congratulations to Bill and Irma Perry, who are celebrating their 66th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to Scott and Jesse Thomas from Middle Arm, who are celebrating 61 years together. Happy 56th anniversary to David and Cecilia Chislett of Mount Pearl. Happy anniversary to Eric and Marilyn Boone. They're marking 50 years of marriage. Wishing Bob and Judy Mercer of Pasadena a happy 53rd anniversary. Congratulations to Calvin and Queen White of Cottrell's Cove on their 55th anniversary. Happy 55th anniversary also to Newman and Joan Parsons of Coleys Point. Now to some birthdays. Wishing Sinneth Daw a happy 93rd birthday. She's from Brig Bay and now lives in Cupids. Happy 96th birthday to Woodrow Snow of Kings Point, now in Springdale. 90th birthday greetings going out to Earl Ellsworth from Carmenville. Best wishes to Joan Mayer, who is celebrating her 90th birthday. Happy 97th birthday to Elizabeth Crocker of Creston South, Marystown. She's a Scottish war bride. Lots of love from her 13 children. Happy birthday to Leslie Fudge of Port aux Basques, who just celebrated his 97th birthday. Wishing Sterling Burton of Twillingate a happy 95th birthday. Happy 90th birthday to Phoebe Conley from Brigus. Birthday greetings going out to Lucy Lavallee, who's turning 92. Happy 95th birthday tomorrow to Eliza Hodge from Savage Cove, now living in Flowers Cove. Happy 92nd birthday to Teresa Gillis from St. Finton's, now living in Corner Brook. Wishing Stuart Mitchellmore a happy 90th birthday, love from family and friends. It's a 91st birthday for Harold Piercy of Port Rexton, now living in St. John's. And happy 90th birthday to William Paul of Epworth, now in Marystown. Another fine crowd. Congratulations once again to everyone who's celebrating. And I'm celebrating because Ashley, a few moments ago, said that the sun has finally come out in St. John's. So
still
that's
cold,
good.
but the
Still
sun
cold.
came out.
We'll
That's
take the sun.
all that matters. We're not going to be used to that glowing orb in the sky.
He's like, what's that?
No, I don't know.
I haven't seen it in so long. And not going to be seeing too much of it on the weekend, at least in the east, but lots of beautiful weather for the west.
Yeah, I do think tomorrow's going to turn into a pretty decent day.
Oh,
so
good.
we should see the sun eventually. Now, how early that is, we'll see. But let's take a look at what's going on out there. So we've got some rain moving across Labrador, and that's going to bring some snow as we head through Sunday morning for the north coast. Otherwise, Monday or Sunday just looks gray, really, across the island. We may see a few peaks of sun before sunset for the west coast, but overall, it does look like a cloudy day. And it's going to be unsettled up across the Big Land. So as our temperatures are concerned, we're looking at daytime highs 11 to 15 degrees for most, a little cooler along the south coast, about 9 to 12. St. John's, I have 5 degrees as the daytime high. Again, likely cloudy through most of the day. But like I said, still a chance the sun will peek out. Now, most of Labrador will be seeing temperatures between 10 to 14 degrees, except 0 for the north coast. And that's because you'll be seeing some snow through the afternoon. Into the evening hours, basically the area of low pressure is going to stick around for those of you across Labrador. So Monday is also going to be a fairly wet day through the afternoon and into the evening hours. And again, the chance of some snow. Most of the island, maybe some sun as the day goes on, but into the afternoon and evening, the northern peninsula may see a few showers from this area of low pressure. Overall, weather temperature-wise, definitely improving, 17 to 20 degrees for central and the west coast. So Monday looking stunning. 8 degrees for St. John's, however, still in that onshore flow. And then up across Labrador, you're looking at your temperatures between 12 to 13 degrees through the day. So we do have our temperatures around 10 degrees as the afternoon rolls through. for Tuesday, and then Wednesday looking at 14 degrees. And then as far as central and eastern is considered, still the teens as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. And then up across Labrador, we're looking at temperatures dropping on Wednesday, and then Western Labrador looking at about 9 degrees for your Wednesday. Our photo today, a great shot of the West Coast. This is Rocky Harbor this morning, and Ray shared that great shot with us. And if you have any weather photos that you would like to share with us, you can send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, just love Rocky Harbor. What a beautiful place. And going to be quite busy out there this weekend with that festival that's happening, the Trails, Tales and Tunes. And of course, it wouldn't be the 24th of May without our unofficial theme song, provided, of course, by Buddy What's His Name and the other fellas. So we're going to leave you with that tonight.
Yeah, it's tradition. So whether you're hitting the road or sticking close to home, we hope you have a safe weekend.
And we will be back on Monday for a special 30-minute edition of Here and Now. Good night. Have a great weekend.
Good night.
It's the 24th of May and we likes to get away up in the woods or going out the bay. There's all kinds of places, but the place we likes to get is up on the highway in the gravel pits. We loves to go out in the good old gravel pits. We loves to go out there when life gets smelly. We can spray paint our names on the face of the cliff. Go up to the Irving for a Coke and chips. Pictures of the camper and out of town we go. Out on the highway with everything we tow. The dog is in the back seat and grandfather's drunk. The youngster's in the trailer and the wife is in the trunk. It's the 24th of May and we likes to get away up in the woods or going out the bay. There's all kinds of places, but the place we likes to get is up on the highway.